I'm going to put out a bench warrant for your arrest.
You practice in front of bench. That's my job or my attorney job. I'm sui juris. I'm propria
Okay,
persona.
Mr. White, I don't know where you read the stuff that you're saying, but it's legal nonsense.
I'm a beneficiary and I'm a sovereign. I'm here under fraud, menace,
Okay, sir.
I'll travel. I don't drive.
Okay.
I have no
Sir,
contact
here's
with
what we're
nobody.
doing, Mr. White.
All right, guys. We've got a no-nonsense judge going head-to-head with a low-IQ sovereign citizen. And let me tell you, this one gets very heated. This sovereign citizen makes a huge mistake and just will not stop talking, no matter how many times the judge tries to set him straight. This guy ends up making a big mistake at the end here, and the judge just shuts him down, and it's very satisfying to watch. But let's go ahead and dive in. Let me know while you guys are watching how you think the judge handled this one, because I think he did a very good job. But yeah, guys, let's go ahead and dive in and watch this sovereign citizen get destroyed.
All right, on the telephone ending in 1336, tell us your name, please.
Dominic Hall.
I come in sui juris.
Only one of you actually has that phone number, and the other people are just wrong about what their phone number is. Who's calling ending in 1336?
Sui juris and personal persona. I'm Stephen Tyrell White, beneficiary and sovereign. I'm here under fraud, menace, and duress. Fiduciary Daniel Williams Norbeck.
Okay, Mr. White, we're going to pop you over in the waiting room because you're just going to be a distraction for all the citizens here willing to abide by the laws of our country. So we'll pop you over in the waiting room and we'll get back to you. In case you guys have ever heard of the term sovereign citizen in the news, that's what one of them sounds like when they try to come to court.
I just love the way this judge is handling it so far. You could just tell this dude is no nonsense. But let's go ahead and watch how he handles him when he calls him back in. The judge just went through the whole docket and he left this sovereign citizen waiting. So let's see if he changes his attitude now.
All right, Mr. White, are you able to hear me?
Your Honor.
All right. I'm going to read this to you so you understand what you're charged with. This says that on January 7th of this year on 2nd Street there in the city of Fenville, that you were driving while license suspended. That is a misdemeanor. It's punishable by up to 93 days in jail and or $500 fines and costs. Do you understand your charge?
Objection, Your Honor. I do not. I do not understand my charges or
okay. I'm going to mark you down as not guilty, and we'll set you for a jury trial. You can continue to.
Your Honor, Your Honor, you practice in front of bench. You practice in front of bench. That's my job or my attorney job. I'm sui juris. I'm propria persona.
Okay, Mr. White, I don't know where you read the stuff that you're saying, but it's legal nonsense. It means nothing in a court of law. So if you're not willing to state that you even understand or recognize the authority of the court, my options are I can make you come in for arraignment and not give you a PR bond, and then you'll have to post bond to not sit in jail. You want to do it that way instead? Right now, if I get through arraignment with you, I'll give you a PR bond. Mr. White?
I don't listen. I'm asking you a question.
What's the question, sir?
I'm not arguing with you, Your Honor. I just want you to hear me.
Okay, but I don't want to listen for 20 minutes. Go ahead and ask your one question, and we'll start there and see if it's a real question.
Am I on the record?
Yes.
It's not going to take 20 minutes, Your Honor. I give you my word.
Well, you said you have a question, sir. What's the question you want to ask?
Is this criminal or is it civil?
This is criminal, sir. It's punishable by up to 93 days in jail and or $500 fines and costs.
Hey, if it's criminal, can I ask to dismiss the charge?
That was 2 questions, buddy. Pick a struggle here. And no, you cannot get this case dismissed, you idiot. Do you even know how trials work? Because newsflash, you're not in one yet. This is literally just a hearing, and my guy is already out here throwing around legal terms like he's some courtroom genius. Spoiler alert, he is not. You can just tell from the way he's talking that he has no clue what's going on here. Like, sir, you are in the legal equivalent of the tutorial level, and you're already failing, so let me know what you guys think. Should the judge just kick him out, or should he keep going for another 20 minutes here?
Because at this point, the prosecutor, There's no sworn testimony. There's no sworn.
It's because this is just arraignment, sir. What you're talking about is trial. That would be several steps down the road. Arraignment is just for you to make sure that you understand what you're accused of, what the penalty is, and for you to enter a plea. You're accused of driving while license suspended. I read to you what the possible penalties are, and I asked you if you wish to plead guilty or not guilty at this time.
No, Your Honor, I'm a beneficiary and I'm a sovereign. I'm here under fraud, menace,
okay, sir. Those sentences don't mean anything. They have no legal meaning whatsoever.
It's guaranteed by my constitutional
I've indicated that since you can't understand arraignment, I've entered a plea of not guilty on your behalf. I've set you for a jury trial. You can represent yourself free of charge, or you could hire an attorney. And now you must make a choice, sir, for bond. If we get through the arraignment with you on Zoom, I'm going to give you a PR bond, personal recognizance bond. That means you don't have to post any money. We're essentially trusting you that you'll keep coming back for your court dates. It is no driving without a valid driver's license. If you cannot get that far, in other words, if you really don't understand what's happening here, then I'm not going to allow you to be arraigned by Zoom. I'm going to set you for arraignment in person. And you will come to this courthouse. You will not get a PR bond. You will get a $300 cash or surety bond, meaning that you will need to post $300 in cash, or you will sit in jail from that day until your trial date. So I'll give you a choice. Do you want to be arraigned over Zoom like we're doing today, or would you like to come in and be arraigned in person?
Well, I object to all this, Your Honor, because at this point, I don't even understand the charges. I do not understand the charges. I'm not trying to.
That's fine. No, sir, you're allowed to, sir. You're allowed to object, and I understand your sentence that you don't understand the charges. And so I will attempt to work with you for that for a second. I'm going to read the charges to you, okay? This says that it takes place on January 7th of this year. You understand that, right? The date that I just read.
I'm saying I do not. At this point, Your Honor, it's I was saying this. It was a jurisdiction matter. It's a jurisdiction matter. That's what I'm saying. It's a subject matter, jurisdiction.
Here's the problem with you arguing jurisdiction. I am a lawyer, so I understand what jurisdiction means. I'm not sure you do.
This judge is seriously playing checkers while this brain-celled idiot is over here struggling with checkers. And honestly, I just love this guy's approach. You can tell this judge knows exactly what he's doing. He is not falling for any of the usual sovereign citizen nonsense. Like, in my opinion at least, a lot of judges kind of fumble when dealing with these guys. They either get too frustrated or let them ramble on for way too long. But this judge, he's just so perfect so far. I mean, he's shutting it down, but he's also just so professional with it too. Like, I don't know if you guys know who Judge Oakley is, but Judge Oakley kind of screams at the defendants, which is fine, but I just love this guy's calm demeanor. It just shows that he's so confident with it. But I know a lot of you guys in the comments might think he's a little bit too harsh. So let me know in the comments if you guys agree with me. I think he's handling it perfectly, but let me know if you guys think he's too harsh here.
The accusation is that you're driving around on 2nd Street in the city of Fenville, meaning in Allegan County, and that you're doing so when your driving privileges with Secretary of State have been suspended or revoked. Because this is the county. Yes?
Objection. I travel. I don't drive.
Okay.
I have no contact.
Sir, here's what we're doing, Mr. White. You are no longer able to be arraigned by Zoom. What I'm going to do is adjourn this. I'm going to adjourn this, and you will get notice at your address there. You will come in, and we will arraign you in person. I'm telling you that I'm not going to give you a personal recognizance bond, sir.
It has to be. Before we can proceed, before you can proceed, it has to be addressed, Your Honor.
Because we are on the record, I'm going to make this infinitely clear. You're going to get notice to appear in front of me. You have two choices. If you do not appear, I'm going to put out a bench warrant for your arrest. If you do appear, We will have this conversation again about arraigning you to see if you understand the charges, but you are not getting a PR bond. You will need to bring with you $300 cash or surety, or you will be in jail. Do you understand those two options, A and B?
That's a violation of my constitutional rights, Your Honor.
Well, no, it isn't, sir. So we're all set for today. We're done talking. We cannot make any progress. You will be asked to come in person for arraignment. You can either choose to come in for arraignment or you can choose to not be here. If you choose to not be here, a warrant will be entered for your arrest. And if you do choose to be here, make sure you bring that $300 because you're not getting a personal recognizance bond. But we are done with this hearing. I'm going to go ahead and release you. Thank you.
When's my date for court?
Man, these sovereign citizens really don't listen. The judge literally just said he was going to send the court date in the mail, and yet this guy still acts confused. I guarantee he was way too busy trying to memorize his little script instead of actually paying attention. This isn't a school presentation. Sticking to a script doesn't help when the judge is literally telling you exactly what's happening. Like, if he literally just would have listened, he probably could have ended this whole thing by pleading guilty, paying a fine, or even taking a few classes. But instead, he chose to be difficult and might even end up spending a few nights in jail. Not exactly the smartest decision, but hey, it's a sovereign citizen, so what do you really expect here? Like, I seriously don't understand these people though. Like, the court is literally giving them the easiest way out, and they still find a way to make their situation worse. Like, what's the end goal here? If anybody could tell me, please let me know. Like, to prove a point that has never worked and never will, the law is pretty straightforward, at least for me. Like, if you're charged with something, you show up, listen, and handle it like a rational person. But sovereign citizens would rather argue over nonsense and act like they've discovered a secret legal loophole. Hey, but at least they make for some great content, so I guess I'm not complaining too much here. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up here. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more content. I'm really curious to see what you guys have to say about this one. I think the judge did a very, very good job. I don't think he was too harsh, but I know a lot of you guys think these judges are too harsh, which I really don't understand. But if you guys back me up on this one, let me know in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys. Take care.